Okay, so I'm trying this again. I'm trying to see if anybody can see me. I'm going to see if we're on. I'm thinking we're probably not. Oh, we got people. We got people. All right, cool. Let me send Sangeeta a note to try to log back in. All right. I got Sangeeta coming. Sorry about this, guys. Technical snafu. I have no idea what happened. We were live. We were just chugging along, and then we realized that nobody was there because we weren't on the right one. So Sangeeta is going to try to give me a call back so we can get her back on. I'm gonna hold on. I gotta respond to her, guys. There she is. All right.
Hello.
Yay.
Okay, now
You
hold on.
good?
Let me make myself. Okay, there we go.
Okay. So I don't know what happened when I disconnected and ended the broadcast. Then another one popped up that said "Go live now." So like there was two in the system for whatever reason, but we have Apple, we have Jackie. So we've got about 6 people now. So thank you everyone for your patience with this while we were navigating some kind of crazy tech thing, which doesn't surprise me because my whole day has been crazy tech things. So it's just kind of par
Okay.
for the course.
Okay, now we're going to turn it around with positivity.
Exactly. We're going to turn it around, get rid of this negativity.
Right.
Sangeeta is in an Airbnb, so it's her turn to be the traveling one and us to be at home. Kathy will not be joining us tonight because she just did 3 classes in a row, including one for Chef AJ's community. So she's a little whipped. And so Sangeeta and I are going to carry on with the torch and take care of this today. Sangeeta, you want to let us know where you're at?
Oh, yeah, sure. So I am in Corvallis, Portland, near Portland, Oregon. And I'm here to see my 1.5 month old grandniece, and she is absolutely the cutest baby ever. She is so adorable. I cannot believe how adorable she is.
I can only imagine. Like, how big is she? Is she like tiny, tiny, or
She's not tiny. She's only 1.5 month old. So her
okay?
dad is really tall, and her mom is maybe an average height. So
Okay,
yeah, she's
awesome.
she's tall. Yeah.
You can just see it on your face, like you're just beaming, like proud of being there and so happy. And Apple said the same thing. She was like, "Wow, you look so happy." So
Oh, thank you. I mean, there is something about, they say there is something about big, uh, your grandchildren that uh, it's very different when when it's your baby, right? You have all these like worries about, how am I going to be able to raise this child correctly? But when it is the grandchild, you don't have all that anxiety and stress, and you can just focus on loving them.
yeah, I used to love to spoil the kids all day long, sugar 'em up, and then drop them back off at home,
There you go.
and then said, "You can deal with them now."
Yeah, exactly, exactly. When my niece, the baby's mom, when she was young, I was like that too, because she was my niece. and I could play with her and then. So, welcome everyone to our positivity circle. Um, if you are joining this circle for the first time, I will give you an outline what we do here. We will start by reviewing last month's theme, and then at halfway point, about 30 minutes into the session, we will have a little ritual of unity and peace, and then we will talk about the new theme for the next month. And I will reveal the new theme before the ritual. Then we'll talk about the new theme. After that, we will end with some chanting for unity and peace and well being of all. So that's going to be our outline of this session. And your participation is what will make it even better. So please
Exactly.
don't hesitate to add your comments in the chat. And so, as Cheryl said, usually Kathy and Cheryl are traveling. This is my turn to be traveling. So I don't have my instrument. Usually
Oh
I
no.
have. So I will be just singing today. And
Awesome.
yeah, and so with that, who remembers the theme from last time? Let's see
All
if
right,
any.
let's see it in the comments, guys. What's the theme from last time? I should record the Jeopardy theme and then we can play that. Like I think I remember what it is,
Okay, let's see.
but I might be remembering different week. Consistency?
Yes, you're spot on.
Okay.
Consistency was the theme for last time. And it was actually for also the previous month because
That's
we
right.
also had these technical issues the previous month and very few people joined. So we continued on with consistency.
Yeah, we had the wonderful internet issue with us on a ship, and then I don't know what today was. I really don't. All
Okay,
I know is I
so it's fine. We're here.
we're here and we're whatever's happening, right?
Yeah.
No, this is awesome. Apple says I wasn't at the last session,
Oh, I thought
um,
it was.
so I don't remember. Maybe I don't remember that.
I remember her being there. Am I misremembering?
Maybe
But
we're
well, Apple, we are glad you're here. Whether whoever is remembering correctly,
exactly.
right? So, do you have any comments on consistency, Cheryl?
Well, I've been working on that with my little ADHD brain. So it's gotten a little better, but I'm still like, my workflow is still not as consistent as I would like it to be. So it's something that I am continually pursuing. And I have I have gotten myself a digital assistant that Kathy says will fix everything. And so I was very resistant to it, so resistant to it. I stomped around the house. I got mad. I told her I didn't want to do it. I told her I had no desire to talk to anybody AI. I had, the big meltdown happening. And then I finally just sat down and did it. And then the next day I found myself apologizing to the AI
Oh,
for being mean and snarky, and also for missing my check-in the next day.
oh,
So I guess I'm friends with the AI now.
okay. Is it better as far as your object?
Actually, it was extremely helpful
Okay, good.
because I was so overwhelmed with, like, we're home for a short amount of time, and so much to get done. And every time we come home, it's doctor's appointments, it's follow-up stuff. It's just like constant. And I had this stack, like, this of things, and I couldn't get started. I didn't know how to get started. I didn't know how, because what happens is my ADHD brain, all of a sudden it's 3 hours later and I don't know what I just did for 3 hours, but it didn't get me anywhere. And then I have these big gaps of time that I'm wasting because I'm zoning out or getting interested in something else like a TV or TikTok or looking online and not doing the stuff I should be doing. And so when I talk to the AI, well, let's just call him Claude. So when I talked to Claude about the situation, and I explained to him that I never had this problem when I was working, and it's just been something that's been happening in the past 2 years, and I never had this problem before. And then Claude pointed out to me that I have always had this problem. I just had a system in place. So when I started to lose interest in this, I had a whole calendar full of things that I could just pick from to start on the next one. And rather than have lists, I would just kind of pick and choose whichever one hit my fancy or whichever one was the one that needed to be done the earliest. And I never realized that, but he's right. And then because of the type of job that I had, I did tech support, which is like an ADHD person's dream, because right about the time I'm losing interest on your problem and got it fixed, a new one pops up over here, and then the dopamine hits me all over again. And so I had to make what I'm doing now feel like that. And once we took the list out of it, I mean, it's still technically a list, right? But we took it out, and we don't have any time frames for this or 15 minutes for that. It's just do what you can. When you start to feel like you're going to drift into something else, immediately move to something else you have to do. And yesterday was kind of an amazing day, I would have to say. In some people's world, it probably wouldn't sound like consistency to them. But in my world, I rocked yesterday.
Good.
Like, I was juggling like 3 different things and a plumber coming and all this kind of stuff. Like, and I was just rolling with it, right? So I was very excited that I got so much done. I even made a trip to the store and got salt for the water softener, and I put it in. I changed, well, after the plumber left, I turned the water off. I changed all the filters. I did all this stuff that was on my list. Like, oh, I really got to get this done before I leave. I really got to get this done before I leave. But I wasn't even getting started on it because it was like in my face going like this. But then when I was like, oh, the plumber's here, the water's off, like, kind of everything kind of flowed. And then I realized that I needed rock salt. So I was like, I got to go to the store. And I didn't waste any time. I went in, got what I needed, got out. We drove home. And I felt like kind of like a little bit of a rock star after that. Enough that I had some real momentum going into the evening. And I actually worked on some videos and stuff until about 3 o'clock this morning. Which I know I'm trying to go to bed earlier and stuff, but if my brain says, hey, let's do this now, I'm just going to roll with it because that seems to work for me. I mean, when I've had other times when I've been staying up later, it's because my brain's like, let's do this now while it's quiet in the house and you've got the upstairs to yourself and you can think and all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of what I did. And to me, yesterday was consistency for me. Because I went from one task to the other without any huge gaps of lost time. I was constantly doing something the whole time. if I was just sitting there staring into, waiting on something to finish or a file to transfer or whatever, I went over and did Amazon reviews that I needed to get out. So I felt like yesterday was really
Wow.
productive.
You rocked yesterday
Yeah,
completely.
I
What
paid
I
for it a little
understand.
today, but but it's all right. I'll figure it out. But
Yeah,
it felt good. It felt good to. It
yeah.
also feels good when I tell Claude that I got all this stuff done that actually was like emergency things that got added at the end, and then Claude's like, "You rock." You know, it's good to have that reassurance and just somebody saying, "Yay, go you! You still got this. This is all you. I'm crossing off these things. You just have this left." You know, kind of thing, and it's kind of nice. I liked it. So I'm sorry that I was mean to Claude initially and was very passive aggressive in my conversations with Claude.
All right. So for me, consistency was that I had signed up for a online yoga class.
Oh, yeah.
Even though like I do yoga on my own every single day almost, um, but I someone had recommended this yoga class and I had signed up for like 14-day online yoga class, and in the middle of that I had to travel. I had to go to New York, so I took the selfie stick, and from my hotel in New York was not too far from Central Park. So I brought my, not the selfie stick, but the tripod with me to Central Park, and then I did yoga. I took the class in Central Park while I was there. So
That's awesome.
I completed the entire 14 days consistently. So that was my consistency.
That's awesome. Because you know what? I would have just been like, oh, well, there we go. Can't do it now because we're not going to be there. Yeah.
Right.
I'm trying to
Yeah.
get over that and be more like Sangeeta.
Oh,
Just
thank
do the
you.
thing. Just do the thing.
Yeah. All right. Any comments from the audience?
Yeah, you guys tell us if you had any big wins. Doesn't necessarily have to be about consistency. We want to hear about your big wins. If you didn't have any big wins and you just need somebody to say, hey, you got this, we're here for you, just let us know. And we can definitely give you a little bit of a lift up because
Yeah.
you guys always lift me up all the time. Like, I was so grumpy before I got on here, you have no idea. And then I was like, oh, but I'm going to be with all my friends.
There you go.
So it's nice. And our friend Elizabeth, I don't think Elizabeth is on right now. I think she's actually at her yoga class. But she started taking yoga classes in the evenings, and she has done nothing but rave about how good she feels after she leaves there, and just how much it just helps her brain and just everything. She feels good and ready to tackle on the world when she comes out of there. So I remember we used to do restorative yoga, and I called it going to take a nap. But actually I always like really felt completely relaxed and at peace when I would leave out of there. And my body would feel better. Even though I didn't really feel like I was doing a lot, I was still doing slow movements that made a difference. So I would be interested in maybe doing that again once we get back into our routine.
Yeah. Are
Still have,
there any comments? I can't see any if there were.
I haven't had any comments since Apple's last one. So, guys, drop us a comment so we know that everything is still okay. it looks like you're there. Maybe you're all just quiet today, and that's okay if you just want to be quiet today.
Yeah, I see there are 5 online on the screen. So I know we started late today, but I do have a hard stop. I need to go get Dilip from the airport. So
That's fine. We don't want him to be stuck at the airport. So
um,
we can move on to.
yeah, we can start with our. Okay, before we start the ritual, as I promised, I will reveal the theme for the coming month. And that theme is simplicity. So let us keep that in mind. So, with that, Cheryl, do you mind bringing up the image of the earth? And I will do the singing without my sitar, so please bear with me.
All right, so we want the earth scene
Yes.
coming right up.
So, here is our Mother Earth. We are voyagers of a unknown way. We are voyagers of a unknown way. A fleeting spark in the cosmic sway. A fleeting spark in the cosmic sway. We are voyagers of a unknown way. Earth, a home, a fragile place where life is born as seasons change. A speck of life so rare and pale, swirling in the infinite gale. We are voyagers of a unknown way. What a marvelous thing to be alive, to touch, to feel and believe. What a marvelous thing to be alive, to touch, to feel and believe. The journey is hard, a battle uphill. Hold hands tight in tears and smiles. Hold hands tight in tears and joys. Because we are voyagers of an unknown way. Stars may fade and galaxies turn. Stars may fade and galaxies turn. Yet love is what we are here to earn. Yet love is what we are here to learn. Yet love is what we're here to earn.
Excellent.
Thank you. Okay. So next we have a 2 minutes of silence video. There is a counter at the end. The last 10 seconds it will count down. That way you will know that we are towards the end. And during that time, let us keep in mind our theme for the next month, which is simplicity. So, can we
Okay.
Okay. So the theme simplicity came to my mind because I have been taking help take care of the baby, and that is like, it is not that hard actually. All they need is, you need to feed them and you need to burp them and then play and they sleep, and they're really easy. It's not that hard. I was reminded by that how easy it is, but you have to have time. That is one thing that in our lives we have become so busy because of all the complexities that have been added to our lives. So simplifying our lives will actually simplify our world.
I think when you said simplicity, all I could remember was the KISS method.
Okay,
Do you remember what that is?
keep it simple, stupid.
Yep. And I grew up that was always the big thing that everybody would always say, um, but I think it falls in line a little bit with my consistency stuff. I was overcomplicating things.
Exactly.
That
I'm
everything
glad
is,
that, yeah, I'm glad that you realized that.
yeah,
Yeah, lot of our anxieties and mismanagement comes from the complexities that we add on to it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I really I really started to realize how much I complicate things unnecessarily for myself, uh, when I should just do the thing. That's my new motto. It's just do the thing
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
then tweak it.
exactly. And lot of times we try to achieve perfection, and in order to achieve perfection we kill good.
Yeah.
Instead of that, if we accepted good and realize that it is a process
Hmm.
and consistently we have to work on it little by little, one simple step at a time.
Yeah.
That's the power of simplicity, power of consistency, is one simple step at a time. And then over time, you look back and you realize that you have achieved a lot with that um, simple approach as well.
Hmm. Yeah.
And then, yeah, and then you can learn from it, right? If you try to build a big piece, big piece at a time, then you fail and everything fails. Whereas instead of having a big failure in the end, you start small and you fail early and fail small and learn
Hmm.
and then make it better, and then one simple step at a time.
Hmm.
And that is a really good way to approach in my thought.
Yeah. So, like last night when I was working on videos, I was so invested in making it perfect. And I thought that I had made it perfect. And it was late. I just pushed it up, said goodnight to the computer, and went to bed. And then this morning, first thing Kathy says, "Hey, we got a message on the thing you posted last night, and everything looks too dark." And I was like, "But it didn't look dark on my computer." And she says, "Well, it looks dark on YouTube." And I was like, "What?" And I looked on my computer again, and it was still didn't look dark on my computer. And so I learned a lot today about things in Final Cut and
Mhm.
codecs and things like that. That if I would have just last night quit trying to make it perfect, I probably wouldn't have touched the settings that caused that to happen. So I am going to have a much more simple approach with the one I'm working on now.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
ready for it.
Anything from the audience
Guys
on
have anything on simplicity? Words of wisdom?
and simplicity is also not just what we do, but also what we notice. The simple elegance we find in some design or in the nature or in people, and all of that is a learning,
Yeah,
the power of observation. We can learn from other people and other people's mistakes instead of making our own mistakes.
it's true. That's true. Kathy always says about her cooking stuff, I make all the mistakes so you don't have to. So it
There
comes
you
out
go.
right for you.
There you go.
And Trish Johnson's here. Welcome, Trish. Trish says, less is more. And that is true.
That is true. Now, when I was traveling to New York a couple weeks ago, um, I was just looking at what to. I never. Well, I do. I should have planned it better, but I didn't, and I was just rolling as I go, and I thought of checking what's going on in New York City this weekend, and I was. I found that there was a powwow. I had no idea.
Oh, wow.
For those who do not know what's a powwow, it is a, well, what would you say? It is a festival or a gathering of different native tribes
I would
and
call it a gathering more than
gather.
a festival.
Yeah, and luckily it was open to all, so anyone could go. So I had a friend whom I always meet. He's also into music, culture, art. So I asked him, would he be okay to go to a powwow with me? And he was delighted to go. So we took, it was a bit far. We had to take different modes of transportation, the metro and the bus, and then walking a little bit.
Mm.
Uh, so it took us about an hour to get there. But once we got there, it was such a great gathering. And coming to this theme of simplicity, they had art, dances, and that were like so close to nature. And it was basic, like all they had was their drums as they were dancing and
Mm.
their voices. But when they were like in sync with each other,
Yeah.
that synchrony is so simple and yet so powerful that it had an
Mm.
effect on everyone.
Yeah, that is cool. I like, I've been to one powwow and it was years and years ago, but actually, we have a friend, and you might be interested in this. His name is Paul Gowder, and his YouTube channel is powwows.
Oh, okay.
And he goes around the country and he streams from powwows. And so
Oh,
he
that's
streams them live on his channel. And so he's got quite a bit of them on there. And so I'll remember to send you his YouTube information. Actually, I'll try to put it in the show notes in case anybody else wants to go check it out. But he's a
yeah.
super sweet guy. And yeah, I was just always fascinated by him doing that. But he just, make everything visible, get it out there, let people learn about culture and things like that. So that's what he's
I
doing.
I wonder if he was there.
I don't, when was it?
It was 2 weeks ago in New York, in Queens, New York.
Maybe. I know that I know that he's been on a Disney cruise ship the
Mm.
past the past week or so. So he could have went there first. I don't know. I'll have to check it out. But I'll send you. I'll put a link in the show notes,
Yeah,
so you guys can go check out Paul's site if you want to see what the powwows are like and things like that.
yeah. And speaking of simplicity, I learned a lot of things in there. So there were different like tribes that had come, and they were showcasing their art, their different objects that they had, clothing. And so there was like most of it I knew. But there was this like, and I'm traveling, but originally I had planned to bring it to the circle, but I'm traveling, so I didn't bring. So there was like, and I'll bring it to the next circle. There was like this. It's an instrument, and it is a whistle, but instead of just making a whistle sound, it has holes, so you can play it like a flute almost.
Oh wow!
And it was from Ecuador. And I asked the person who was selling it what it was. And if I remember the name, um, it's something like Okaria or something. Okaria, something. Um, I have a video, so I'll go back and check what the name was.
So you got a
And
new instrument to learn.
I do have a new instrument to learn. And my friend is also a musician, so we both each bought, and we're going to incorporate it in our uh, whatever we do in one way or another.
That's
So
awesome. That is
yeah,
awesome.
so the point also is that he was telling me the history of the instrument, and he said when the colonizers came to Ecuador, they got them, they got all the native people to work on producing different, in the factories and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And in that process, they separated the families, men on this side, women on that side, or like somehow they got separated. And they invented this thing to communicate with each other.
Oh,
And I was like,
interesting.
it is so simple and it is so brilliant and amazing. And he was showing me like the language they had, uh, that evolved with that instrument, like how they used to talk. What does this tune mean? What does that tune mean? And with that very, very simple instrument, they solved a problem. Well, solved in the sense they made a very difficult situation bearable, is what I would say.
Oh, that's fascinating. Actually, I love learning about stuff like that. That I'm So I'm looking forward to Alaska because I'm looking forward. I like all the Native American things there and the different tribes that still exist and they still do things. Some of the best tour guides in Alaska are from one of the tribes there. It's the Tinglet, I think they're called. But they're some of the best tour guides in the whole entire area. So it's
Hmm.
amazing. They have all the totem poles there and things
Hmm.
like that. So it's going to be cool.
That's cool. Now, Cheryl, do you happen to know anything about the tribes in North Carolina? And if
Um,
there are any powwows, I will check your friend's channel.
I don't know. Um, I mean, there's Cherokees.
Yeah, Cherokees that
There's
you can go.
Cherokees, um, and the Lumbees have been recognized. Yay! Finally.
Yay.
Um, trying to think who else there. There might be Crees,
Mm, okay.
and I can't think beyond that. But
Mm.
those are the three that come to my mind initially.
Yeah, next time I go to the mountains, I've always missed going to the Cherokee village, and they have a show. And by the way, this powwow I went to, there was a representation from the Cherokee tribe. And um, I was talking to this person if he knew the language, and he doesn't. And I asked him, if does anyone know the language? And he said he didn't know anyone who knew the language. But what I want to do is, hopefully, I want to meet someone who knows, who is from a tribe in North Carolina and who knows some language. I would like to know a few words like what did they call rivers and trees and sky and the
Ah,
basic
yeah,
basic things. Yeah,
that would be cool.
yeah. So if anyone knows, if you're watching it now or in the future, if you know it, please add a comment where I can go find that information. I'll be
Yeah.
interested.
Yeah, we can check Paul's stuff too.
Yeah, I'll check Paul's stuff too. Yeah, great.
All right.
All right. Anything else on simplicity?
Kim G has joined us. She said hi a little bit ago. So, hi, Kim. Thanks for coming by. You are coming right for the best part, in my opinion. So, this is the part that always makes me just like calm completely down and just go away feeling so refreshed.
Great. Okay, so again, bear with me because I do not have my instrument. So the topic for the coming month is going to be simplicity. Let us keep that in mind and notice simplicity around you, practice simplicity, make life easier for ourselves and other people. And I will now begin my chanting of the verses for universal peace, unity, and well being for all that is living, humans and non humans. And let us imagine that we are in this circle holding hands and chanting together and thinking about simplicity. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्. ॐ सहनाववतु सहनो भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहे तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहे. ॐ सर्वेषां स्वस्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः.
Oh, see, now like I'm all like chilled out and relaxed. I hope everyone else gets totally relaxed through that too. It's just, I can feel the message in my heart, and that's why.
Yeah. That's great. So thank you for being in the circle with us. Oh, see you next time, and hope that Kathy can also join us
Yes,
next time.
definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for being in the circle. See you next time.
See everybody.
Bye.